I think clutter just sits as one entity in our mind. It's just a huge pile, a mass of stuff that we don't know what to do with, and it's very emotional to think about. It's very emotional to deal with. Today, though, I want to break this down and let you know what types of clutter specifically you can be on the lookout for, and then how to kind of break away from that emotion to really get down into the practical side of thinking and make some actual progress. The first one being useful clutter. This is where you can see an item's potential. You can hold it up and say, I can think of a million different ways that I can style this denim jacket. I can wear it with all these dresses and tops. Here's the thing. Have you had the opportunity and passed this up for something else, or just not thought to grab it? Even if something is useful, it's in brand new condition, it could still have the tags on it. Have you worn it? Have you done it? Or have you passed it up for something else? So get really practical with yourself. Instead of thinking, this is darling, this is in brand new condition, I love it, this is totally my color. You can start getting very emotional, and you're gonna hang on to this. You're gonna keep it. You're gonna put it back in your closet, and you're never gonna use it. Be practical. Think about if the item has really been useful. What are the chances of you truly needing this item in the future? Abundance clutter. This one is very, very difficult to deal with. This is when you have multiples of an item. Maybe you have 5 knife blocks or 4 curling irons or 3 dictionaries, and you think, you know what? There's gonna come a time, I just know it, where I'm gonna need multiples. What if I host the entire neighborhood and I truly need 5 knife blocks? Or I go and I'm a bridesmaid at a wedding and I need all these different curling irons. Better yet, you're thinking, well, I use a curling iron like every day, and what if mine breaks down and then I'm gonna need a backup for sure. Here's the deal. You can always find an excuse to keep a backup of anything in your home, absolutely anything. I do not like the idea of holding on to 2 or 3 extra curling irons just in case. The reality is, by the time this breaks, is that the style you're still gonna be working on? What if you wanna try a different size curling iron? What if you wanna take a break and try a crimper like I did today? You don't know where you're gonna be at that point. You are assuming that you're gonna be in the exact same place when this breaks down that you are today. And I don't feel like that's really fair, because where you could be in the future, if you declutter your multiples, is clutter-free. Now you know you want to be there. That's somewhere you definitely want to be. So don't let a curling iron hold you back. Don't let 4 extra knife blocks hold you back from that dream. Now these are just the bully. They're bossing you around. They're telling you what kind of life you're gonna live, which is gonna be one full of clutter. So don't worry, you can always get a new curling iron if you truly find yourself in this situation. It is well worth the potential of having to spend a little bit extra money to live clutter-free, or to borrow it from a friend or a neighbor, or to even find something that could replace it that you already own. It is so worth it. Take it from me, because I'm kind of living this right now, where I don't have multiples, I don't have duplicates in my home, minus a very, very, very select few. I do have a life reserve, that's what I call it, of things that I kind of know they're gonna break for sure. I'm gonna need a new one. My phone chargers only last for like 5 months, and I always need a backup. So I'm gonna keep a backup of my phone charger, my glass bowl. That's gonna break, I guarantee it, and I know I'm gonna need it in a couple months. So there are a few items. Give yourself a list of just a few items that you are allowed to keep in one bin, or fill the bin, and when it's full, you're done. So give yourself a limit. I don't think we have to have no duplicates. We just can't have a backup of everything, or then we're just living how we are and we're not getting out from underneath our clutter, and it's not worth it. Homeless clutter, I think, is some of the hardest clutter to detect in our homes. This is the stuff that just floats around your house. You're constantly managing it. You're constantly stepping over it. You're constantly shuffling it around from room to room, or flat surface to flat surface, and it just floats. This is the hardest type of clutter, I think, to notice, because at this point we're clutter blind to it. We don't even notice because we've seen it so many times. Every single day, it's like we can't even see it anymore. This seems too simple. It's like too good to be true, but I'm telling you, this works. Take a picture. I really don't know why this works, but it does. Try taking a photo in a little cluttered corner of your space or one of the flat surfaces that you just feel like you can never get under control. Take a picture of it. What is a floater? What is homeless? What is something that's just kind of lived there temporarily because you haven't thought of where it goes? I really love what Dana K. White says on this one. She says, where would you look for it first? If you don't know, then it goes. All right, let's say it's the same cute kid books that you've been stepping over, cleaning up every day. And sometimes I feel like we think because we're constantly managing it, we're using it. And that's not actually true. We've been picking these up. We pick them up every day. So obviously our kids are reading these books, right? Not necessarily. And that is where we have to become like a detective and really notice what we're using and what our family members are really using. But if you think, where would I use this item most often? Okay, I'd use this in my kids' rooms most often. That's where the books are kept, so that's where these go. Have they actually been looking at them? Have they been reading them? So take that one maybe one step further and really ask yourself, are these just kind of taking up space in my house unnecessarily? Pack them away in that case. Pack it up and see if they ask for it. If they don't, then you can declutter it after a couple months. But where would I look for it first? Love it, or where would I use this item most often? Requires a little bit more thought, but I think it could also be really helpful. Aspirational clutter. This is where we can see the potential of items. I think this and useful clutter usually kind of go hand in hand to really pull at our emotions. We feel very guilty for getting rid of this. We feel like we paid a lot of money, so we should be keeping it. It's so useful. Look at the potential of this item. We could also kind of get hung up on the aspiration of like the phase of life that we think we're going to be in or that we hope that we're going to be in. All right, let's use some shoes as an example for aspirational clutter. Let's say you are a stay-at-home mom right now, your husband works late hours, and honestly, your favorite date night is a movie night in or ordering in, and you remember how fun it was to wear these out when you used to go out on the town, and you think, oh, those days are right around the corner. I just know it, and I'm gonna be so sad I let go of my black heels. Here is the problem with that. Every single time you see these black heels, you are going to be kind of wishing for these days. You're going to be excited, which is fine, but you're going to be kind of thinking, I can't wait to get to this point when I can wear these shoes again. When in reality, if you continue to think that way, you are truly missing out on the phase of life that you're in. If you end up needing to go out or you get the opportunity, do you have another pair of shoes and you wear these all the time anyway? Go ahead and get rid of these. I don't feel like we need to have this scarcity mindset where there's gonna be no more black heels in the whole universe and I'll never be able to wear them again, and that just feels so sad. That's not the case. There will always be another curling iron. There will always be another pair of black heels. There will always be another pretty much everything. So don't worry. Embrace the phase of life that you're in and go with the leopard boots. Watch out, because bargain clutter, I have found, is the hardest not to bring into your home. It can be a little easier to let it go, especially since you're like, well, I didn't really pay that much for it anyway, or it was free, so whatever, I'll just let it go. It can still be a challenge because you can see its potential, you can see how it's useful, and it can hang you up. But honestly, bargain clutter, try to avoid bringing it into your home. This is where at least I really got tripped up. I would shop the sales section, not for anything I needed specifically, but just because it was the sales section. So be really, really careful when you're shopping, not to just shop sale items for the fun of it, but to only shop sale items when you're looking for something specific. I think it's amazing to find things for free, to find things on a good deal, but when it's not something you already know you needed, then it can become useless clutter and a waste of money. It doesn't matter if you paid $5 for it, that will add up fast. Is it even fair to call sentimental items clutter? Yes, it is. If it's not something that you are using, loving, appreciating, enjoying, if it's just something stacked away in a basement, it is absolutely clutter. This is something that I had buried in my basement for many years. It's a book of photos and memories from my grandmother who's passed away. Here's the thing, I never looked at it. I never shared these memories or photos with my kids. It truly was clutter. I have made it not clutter by bringing it out and looking at it. Now it's not clutter, but it was. You can turn your sentimental items from clutter into treasures by simply using the item, getting it out. Maybe, oh, look at these, aren't these gorgeous? Maybe you don't even keep the item, and that's okay. My grandpa that I never met, this is such a treasure. Why was I allowing it to be clutter? Everything in your basement or attic that you've been saving away as sentimental is not gonna be a treasure. Be, again, as honest with yourself as possible. Does it truly evoke that beautiful memory? Does it really make you happy? Can you even remember using grandma's china? If not, keep something else of hers and pass the china on. So be really selective even with stuff like this, but it is clutter if it's just taking up space in your garage or attic. Get it out and use it. Please subscribe for more videos just like this one, and I will catch you soon. Bye.